one of the most important.
Good evening, everyone. I answer the phone. It's Jane Smith. She asked for the agent. Her voice is soft, almost a whisper. I offer to help, like I always do. I congratulate her on her recent marriage and ask her how the move into her new house is going. I wish I hadn't. John's dead, she tells me. I need to update my name on my insurance policy. See, Jane had only been married for less than 3 weeks. Her husband John was in his mid-30s and super healthy, yet he died from a sudden heart attack. And there's 2 points of this story that I want to highlight. The first is Jane's. Here she is. She just got married, just bought a house, probably just consolidated her bank accounts, and is now going to have to redo her finances a second time. Then there's John. John was healthy. He was young. He probably didn't think twice about needing to review any life insurance. Or maybe he thought that his employer-sponsored policy was enough to get them by if something happened. He was wrong. And everyone's needs are different, but everyone needs to seriously consider having an individual life insurance policy. This is a true story. I did change the names for privacy. And many of you know that I work for State Farm Insurance, and I am licensed in the state of Illinois to sell life insurance. However, the information I'm going to share with you today is not from State Farm. It is information provided by recognized personal financial advisors and government resources that you can go online and find on the internet or at your local bookstore. So now that my disclaimer is out of the way, let's get back to the subject of life insurance. There are many reasons why people buy life insurance. Ernst & Young's personal financial planning guide will tell you that the #1 mistake that people make when planning their financial future is knowingly underinsuring a risk that they could otherwise cover pretty inexpensively. So the #1 thing that people do mistake that people make when they are planning their finances is not considering enough insurance. Okay? Insurance is inexpensive. There's reasons why people get insurance, different reasons why people get insurance, but life insurance is a way of managing risk. Okay, so people get life insurance because they want to protect their financial security, or they want to cover their children's expenses. They might get it because they have joint debt, or they might get it because they want the investment side of life insurance. Either way, whatever way you need insurance, you're going to find out that there's 2 main types of insurance. There's term insurance and there's permanent insurance. And term insurance, and both of these types of insurance, you'll see most financial advisors will tell you, you need both of these types of insurance will have a legitimate place in your estate and financial planning. So you'll need to consider both of them at some point in your life. Term insurance is for those families who have children. It's for short-term needs. It provides the biggest benefit for your dollar. You'll get, business owners will look for this type of insurance for key business partners because they share obligations. People look for this type of insurance, parents look for this type of insurance because they have co-signed on a child's new car or possibly a child's student loans. So these are major debt. These are major obligations that people are taking on, and if something happens to that person who is primarily responsible for that loan, that other individual is still obligated to repay that loan. So consider term insurance. And permanent insurance has other benefits that people, permanent insurance is for long-term needs. Permanent insurance is what people look to get when they are looking for investment opportunities. Perhaps they are looking into retirement planning and they want to find a way of protecting their savings for their family, protecting their savings from tax penalties, because life insurance, the death benefit is provided tax to the beneficiary as without tax penalties. So there's other benefits, dividends and cash values that people look for long-term purposes. Now, many people have employer-sponsored group life insurance, and that's great. If your employer offers that benefit, that's a great benefit to have. But what you might not know is that employer-sponsored group life insurance should really be backed up. It should not be your primary source of life insurance. You should have a supplemental insurance for that type of insurance. Because if you no longer work for that employer, most of the time that policy is not transferable to you and is not convertible, so you can't change it to your own policy. It just, you don't have anymore. Also, the IRS website will tell you that group life insurance, employers can only offer $50,000 of group life insurance free to the employee. After $50,000, there is a fee and a taxable fringe benefit charged to the employee. So that is something that a lot of people don't know, and it's something you need to consider because you're paying for whatever additional coverage there is. Additionally, so with those points, you can see that a 20-year-old person, a 20-year-old employee who is suddenly terminated is at a disadvantage if they don't have their own life insurance policy, individual life insurance policy in force prior to this time. I mean, they're going to be 20 years older and may have deteriorated health, and they're going to have the cost of a policy 20 years older. And with that, my last point would be, for those of you who are single, may not be married, may not have children, may not have bought a house, may not own a house, you may think you're okay, but honestly, you still need to consider life insurance, getting an individual life insurance policy in the case that your health suddenly changes and perhaps later down the road you are not eligible for a policy, or perhaps your health insurance or your life insurance is more costly because you didn't get it at a time when you were healthy and young and able to afford it. So with all these points in mind, I'm going to ask you guys to do a little homework tonight. I've created a handout. It's a life needs analysis. The information on this handout all is facts from different resources that are not State Farm related. They're not facts that I personally made up. I provide Social Security Administration information on IRS website, information on average student loans, average education costs for children or for individuals. I want you to go home. I want you to think about what I've said today. I don't want you guys to end up being Jane Smith, because I will tell you that the most horrible position you could be in is Jane Smith's position. It's hard enough when you lose a loved one. The grieving process is long, and it's even worse if you have to try to figure out your finances through all the mess and all the emotions that you're going through. So I ask that each of you consider this. I'm going to hand them out.
Thank you.
And I ask that each of you look over it and fill in the blanks and take the time to really assess your financial needs and see how you can maybe protect your financial future or your family's financial future. Thank you for your time. Any questions?
Thank you.